Try to cover some key functional features around Oracle Financial, Supply Chain, procurement, and dashboard. So coming to functional features, first we'll talk about the key built-in integrations which Oracle has introduced around the general ledger module. It's built-in integration which has come in the new version 2. Which allows you to directly integrate with EBS, that's Financial Accounting Hub, which is a very recent product by Oracle, which has introduced in the market, which gives you all Fusion GL capabilities in 12.2 itself. So before we go to Fusion, we can actually get the Fusion capabilities in Financial Accounting Hub at our 12.2, so which actually helps you to get the boardroom financial statements right from your basic reporting needs to all complex reporting needs, right from your P&L across segments, balance sheet, cash flows, and so on. It doesn't stop there. It also has a feature wherein you can actually analyze the variance with the exception-based online monitoring. So what it does is basically every transaction you pass into a general ledger, you have a monitoring on it. So you don't have to wait to run variance report to actually get to know what the variance of my account is in the current state. Moving ahead, we also have strong capability in FAH where you can actually slice and dice the reports, which is one of the favorite reports, account analysis of the finance department. So we can actually slice and dice. You can remove the columns which you don't need. You can create multiple reports out of one data mart and reports for that matter, account analysis, be that trial balance, sector-wise, and so on. Moving ahead, the other key built-in integration which Oracle has introduced in the newer version is Hyperion DRM. So it's basically a data relationship management built-in integration which helps to accelerate implementation of Hyperion. So how does that happen? So imagine a scenario where you have multiple EBS instances across group companies and you have a need to consolidate or synchronize all the instances to one single application. So here DRM does that for you automatically. Unlike in earlier version, we had to spend days together to build in custom components to synchronize the chart of account, to synchronize the parent and child values of chart of account in the system, which has actually accelerated the implementation of a few Hyperion to a greater extent. Moving ahead, a couple of more features on the Oracle Financials around the allocation formulas. Here we can actually share one single allocation formula across ledgers. So in the earlier version we had to create same allocation formula for multiple ledgers. So wherein now that need has been eliminated, you can actually create one single formula, leverage it to multiple ledgers. You can override the currency of a ledger in this particular new formula. You can have multiple instances of the same mass allocation formula for irrespective of, or rather, n number of ledgers in the general ledger. So other very important or strong feature which Oracle has introduced around general ledger in web area is restriction of manual journal entries on the control accounts. So I have come across finance guys had a nightmare during the reconciliation when there was a mismatch in the sub-ledger and in the general ledger. So we took days together to identify why there was a difference. We did rectification. We again invested days together to build in this particular control in earlier version, wherein the new version Oracle has introduced it as a built-in. So we actually don't have to do any customization and there is no risk of Oracle not supporting it further. Moving ahead, a couple of more features around the India localization and financial common module. There has been an enhancement around the bill of entry functionality. So what it does, actually now you can create a bill of entry in the system by referring to a purchase order, by referring to releases of a blanket order. So you actually have a link of end-to-end bill of entry which is entered into a system. There is also has been an enhancement around the tax import to receivables and payables. Earlier it was only limited to transactions. Now it has been extended to taxes. So you can actually import the taxes along with the invoices from your subsystems. There has also been on the similar line, there has been enhancement in the customer interface program. So what it does is it allows you to import the tax information for that particular customer. So earlier it was only limited to a customer information apart from taxes. So with this new enhancement, now you have an end-to-end interface with the subsystem, which allows you to import the tax information for each and every customer from any subsystem that could be from CRM or any homegrown application as well. So we have also scheduling in APR netting, so we can actually schedule batches in APR netting, which was not there earlier. There has been a re-architecture and code integration points around the India localization TDS part of it. So we had a tough challenge convincing our clients. Many of the times there are no APIs available for India localization, so we can't actually customize because Oracle may not support if we have some problems. So now that has been taken care of. So there are public APIs available. We can integrate that to Oracle EBS, and we have it there right in India localization. All the integrations available in 12.2. There has been a performance improvement which has been taken care in the newer version. A couple of reports like creditor ledger report, creditor trial balance, which used to take a little longer time than expected in earlier version, which has been optimized to a greater extent, which has reduced time by around 60% now. Moving ahead, a couple of features around supply chain and procurement. So under order management module, there is a new feature which allows you to actually calculate tax on freight, so which we didn't have earlier in the earlier version. So you can now actually forecast what is my tax on the freight right on the order management scheme and calculate it there itself. There is an enhancement which also prevents reapplication of credits, credit hold based to bill to customers. Scheduling feature, there is an integration with AAV, that's approval management engine. So typically in earlier version of Oracle we had hierarchical kind of setup for the approval matrix. So we had a lot of challenges wherein if we need a flexible approval matrix configuration in the system in the earlier version. While it was available for accounts payable and a couple of other modules, it was not available for supply chain, which has now been introduced in the newer version. So there is also a reassignment of drop shipment which was created by an inactive user, which can again get active in the system. While we had a purge for order management, now it has been extended to history of an order management. So earlier the history used to remain in the system and orders used to get purged. Now it has been extended to purge functionality to an audit history as well. So we have another feature, selling service products. Moving ahead, around shipping. So earlier there were no standard APIs available to integrate any third-party logistics or distributed warehouse management. So today, if you have to actually integrate with your logistic company, or for that matter, you want to extend your system to know the shipment status to a customer. So the APIs are right now available in the hardware 12.2 features. You can actually integrate to a logistic company wherein you can get to know the shipment status until it reaches to a customer. Moving ahead around procurement, so there is a dashboard available on your mobile where you can actually see a work list of procurement on your mobile, and you can take action, appropriate actions on the respective task. There has been enhancement to expand the tax attribute. So earlier it was little lesser, now it has been extended to around 250 odd tasks which we can actually see on the screen. On the similar lines, we also have vendor site code expansion, so it has also been extended to around 50 now. So there is a change history page to show change reasons in the procurement. So you can actually see the history of changes which has occurred, and you get to see reason on the same screen there. There is item master attachment in the search, so you don't have to go back to item master to just view the attachment. So you can search the item right there on the dashboard. You can view the attachments of the item master right there on the grid itself. Moving ahead, couple of features on the iStore. This is one of the key or very powerful feature which Oracle has introduced is access to multi-customer. So in the earlier version, we didn't have a leverage to place an order to multiple customers from one single screen. So now which has been introduced, we can actually place an order to multiple customers from the same single login. On the similar lines, you can now actually in a B2B kind of an account, so you can actually see an order history for multiple customers in one single login ID. So earlier we had to log out and change the customer and then log in. So now you can just come back to home page, change the customer, and you have it right there. On the similar lines, we have other service items. So it's basically you can buy or order services along with the hardware. So it's not only the hardware which you can procure from that particular order management, but you can also order for an service line in that particular order itself, which was not there in the earlier version. The other features around the iStore are the pay now or pay later. So it's basically customer has, or rather iStore has a facility where you can immediately initiate the payment, or you can park it to pay later. So you actually in the system you get the notification when you have to actually pay the amount for your ordered items. The another rather small but very important feature is around duplicate cards from the saved order. So imagine you have an order which you have placed earlier and you have a similar order which you want to place it again, so you don't have to do a complete data entry of the same order in the system. So you can actually duplicate that from the existing cart and go on from there. So I'll hand it over back to the page. Thank you very much.
Okay, so just want to wrap it up with question of how and when. So this is what would probably answer your questions, how and when. So when we say we have strategically decided to run it as a program, so it's not only a program for sales or a new business perspective, it is also a plan from a delivery aspect as well. So we have researched in terms of how it should be a quick turnaround for you as a client when I decided to move on 12 to 2 or 12 to X. So these are few things which we have already in our which we have this as part of our offerings in terms of our program. So there is no question, there will be a very minimal to and fro from both the sides to understand, to debate on how it should be, how it should not be. So all those things we definitely want to reduce. That's why we have decided to have this program at all the levels in Clover today. So it's not preparation, it is we are ready with this. So this is how we will, this is what the commitment to this particular program. Now you will ask me how you will do it. What is your methodology? So if you ask me, this methodology is, it's not I would rather say this is what the methodology we have developed to have a very quick turnaround for after you take a decision. So there are a few things which we have as part of the overall program when we start execution at your end. So my last slide is, you will see that what is this? This is all I know. But it could be, you will ask me, okay, if I have 1213 and you're saying it's not paradigm shift, why I have to do UAT1, UAT2 and everything? But what we have done is, and we have successfully proven every time when we have done the migration or any other activity, is we do this for this. So when we are doing UAT2, we are actually timing the watch, saying that this is what is UAT1 we are trying to do. UAT1 we are trying to do is, we are trying to envisage what could be the problems, what could be the solutions. So it could be an iterative scenario here in UAT1, but UAT2 is exactly a rehearsal of production. So that's why we insist all our clients, all our projects to do UAT2, because when I do UAT2, I know exactly or very near to exactly what is my downtime which is required. Yes, as a part of project planning, I have to say what could be a downtime. So you can go back to your business users and ask for the downtime window and everything. But this will give us the exact timing for the downtime and the execution. And that is the success of every activity which we are doing as a part of project or a program. This is what is our success factor. And once we do that, we are not leaving you, okay, your support is, if you are a part of support is anyway going to help you, but as part of a program, a project team also will become a part of your handheld support. So we have come to an end of first session. I hope you guys have, we have taken, or we have answered your most of the questions. But if you still have questions, we can open it for Q&A.
Yes, the forum is now open for questions. So any thought that comes across your mind, please put it through Satyajit and Dipesh here. So, excuse us.
Yeah, this is Manoj Rao. I'm from Manoj Institute. One question is, as you said, 12 to 5 is already. Is there any specific reason why Clover is focusing on 12 to 3? It may not be the N minus 1 as 12 to 4 at least.
If you 12 to 3 has been known as a very stable version of Oracle 12 to 3. If you say 12 to 5 is just launched, and 12 to 4, we can definitely look at 12 to 4 by seeing your system specifically. But 12 to 3 is I would rather say, is a quick to move on, because you have a lot of questions which are already answered about it, in terms of bugs, in terms of patches. 12 to 5 is very recently launched. We can definitely have a look at it, because there are few things from an app tech stack perspective which has been added in 12 to 5. But definitely we can look at 12 to 3 or 12 to 4, but I would still stick to 12 to 3 from a stability point of view. And once I come to, see, today we are on 12.1.1 or 12.1 as a version. So it's most important to come on 12 to 2, because when the rest .4 or .5 are not major things to do it on from the upgrade perspective. So patch applications you can do it. So I feel let's get those versions stabilized. They are definitely stabilized, I'm not saying. But specific to your setup, we can take a call whether 12 to 3 or 12 to 4. But 12 to 5 is recently launched. Considering business which is running on that system, I would still tell you to go on the most stable, where all the questions have been answered by Oracle in terms of bugs, patches, service requests, all those things. So for our turnaround for moving on to 12 to 3, it will be much lesser than moving on to 12 to 4 or 12 to 5. Because we can move on further patch applications of .4 or .5 are not going to be a major project for anybody. But moving from 12.3 to 12.2 is a project, is purely a program which you have to carry as a program. Otherwise, less things can be taken care. So I would still rather suggest you to 12 to 3 But because 12.4 is launched in August 2014, August or September 2014, and I don't see many of are going still on 12.4. So I would walk, as this program says that go on current, but I would still want to take a pragmatic decision on, because I am close to you, or Clover is very close to you doing day-to-day job, and we know if I just want to educate you on 12.5, I know you and me are going to take it forward. So I would still say 12.3 was the most stable version.
Thanks. Is there any major technical, from the technical tax perspective or the functional perspective, major change between 12.3 and 12.4?
See, technical changes I said, it has introduced web logic. Okay, from development front,
2.3 to 2.4.
no, nothing, not major. And our approach is always do a tech stack upgrade first, and come to a latest version, and then start introducing or setting up new features, or start using the new functional features. Because in any project, we don't want to change too many things at the same time. So you can, first phase you can do a tech stack upgrade, and then start using the functional features which are being introduced in 12 or 12.3. That is how is our approach, and this is successful across whatever migrations we have done, many migrations we have done.